What's going on, Spurs family? Welcome to Spurs Talk with the Hano. This is the day after Rockets versus Spurs. It was a fantastic game, exciting game. Um, got you up out your seat, but I'm gonna jump right into it. First and foremost, I want to talk Trey Jones. As I said in my prediction, I really, well, it wasn't really a prediction because Popovich came out and said it like a day before the last preseason game or the game before the last preseason game. So I really couldn't do my predictions to see what he was going to do. But the lineup I had in mind is Trey Jones starting. And last year, a lot of people was saying Trey Jones is not it, but I thought he played a solid season last year. It was his first time with the keys to the team. He had a top 10 assist to turnover ratio in the league. That's solid. That's a really solid person. I mean, that's a really solid performance for a person just getting his first reign as a starting point guard. So I thought he did a fantastic job. And so when Popovich went with Sohan as the point guard of the team and putting Trey Jones on the bench, I automatically thought that you know that's kind of odd, right? That's really odd. I get it that we more um, long defensively, but then when you look at it, we're not really that superior or that better defensively with Sohan in it versus when Trey Jones is in it. It's not really. It's pretty much the same. Um, so it's not working. That starting five is not working. Um, as we see with seeing with the against the Mavericks and against the Rockets, we play with a faster pace when Trey Jones in the game, and Trey Jones is always looking. He has his head up because he's a natural point guard. He's been playing that position probably ever since he started playing basketball because he's not really a tall guy. So he's been bred and trained in that position. And I know we go into this positionless basketball. Yeah, it's positionless basketball if you know how to play the other positions. Sohan is just a big guy who can bring up the ball. He's not really a point guard. He's just a big guy who can bring up the basketball. That's good for his position. If he's getting a rebound, he don't have to plaster the guard. He can just get it and go. That's good for that. But he's not really good to be a starting point guard. And as you see, Victor is missing looks because nobody's got their head up. Nobody got their head up. Trey Jones is the only one is looking for with his head up, looking downfield, pushing the ball up the floor, pushing the pace. We play smoother when he's in the game. But another thing to point out is our second unit. We got all our big guns in a starting lineup. When I mean the big guns, Jeremy So obviously not Jeremy Sohan. He's not going to offensively put up 20 points, right? But he can, but not as an average. You're talking Victor, Vassell, and Johnson all can get you 20 points whenever needed, right? We got all of them in the starting lineup, and one of them has to go to the bench. And I don't want to put Vassell on the bench, and Victor's not going to the bench. I think Keldon Johnson needs to be Armando Ginobili. There's no firepower in that second unit. Malachi Branham is a solid scorer, but he's not going to explode like that. He's going to be inconsistent. He's not really a person that's going to take the game by the throat. Johnson got that killer instinct, that will to say, "Let me do what I have to do. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to attack the basket. I'm going to play with energy." He got that Manu-esque feel. Well, he's not Manu Ginobili, but he plays with that passion that he can lift up a team. And when you have a second unit that doesn't have that intensity, that aggressiveness, that energy, then we play flat. As you see, when the guys are out, it's kind of like a stale performance. And I think Keldon Johnson, if you put him in with the second unit, then necessarily we have firepower. If necessarily Vassell has to go out, Vassell go out, Johnson can play that position. He can come right in that position, even if Victor get in foul trouble because he plays the four. He doesn't play the five. Keldon Johnson showing he can play that position as well. Like Keldon Johnson can play any position, right? And plus, he's an offensive threat. He's a person off the bench that can get us 20 points. I think we need to put Keldon Johnson on the bench because we can't put Sohan on the bench because Sohan is not really an offensive person that can go out there and get you 20 like that. We need threats coming off the bench, and Johnson is a perfect fit for that. He's our perfect new Manu. I mean, he's not good as Manu, but you know what I mean. As a six man, and I think once we do that, we bring balance to the team again. We bring that balance back to this team, and it's going to be something to look forward to. Our next game is Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Jones is back in that starting lineup. But for who? Hopefully, it's not for Sohan, because I'm not saying bench Sohan. I'm saying Keldon Johnson needs to go to the bench because that second unit needs help scoring the basketball. We are completely stale in that second unit. Also, uh, uh, I didn't. I think his eyes light up. Um, Shagun, I don't know how to say his name for the Rockets. Every time he sees Collins, he has a night. Right? He has a night on Collins all the time. Every time they play, he just performs well on Collins. And Collins, I think the reason why he's starting is because he can put the ball in the basket, and mainly his outside shooting. And I think that's something that puts him in the starting lineup. I don't say bench him. No, Collins. I'm not saying bench Collins. But last night, when Segun was cooking, I was like, I want to see. We need to put a blanket on his fire. I think we need to try Bassie on Segun and see if he can cool him down a bit, and then bring Collins back in the game because he was just getting in his rhythm, like basically as if Collins like wasn't even there. He was moving him out the way. He was doing whatever he wanted to Collins. And I was like, we need to try to switch it up. Try to put Bassie in the game. He's more strong. He's not going to bully him in the paint either. And I just wanted to see that try because Bassie was a little bit more physical. Not to keep Bassie in the game or replace Collins. No, I'm not saying that. But just to throw off Segun because he was just having his way with Collins. And I think putting Bassie on him for a little bit, put him in the game for a little bit, get him under control, and then bring Collins back in. Give Segun different looks. And I was thinking that as the game went on, because it wasn't like Collins was having a good shooting night from the outside as well. He had a very bad shooting night from the outside, but that's something I was thinking as the game was being played. One important thing before I get off is that Victor Wembanyama, even though he's still inconsistent because he's still young, but one thing, the dude shows up in the fourth quarter. He did it 2 games straight where he's performing in clutch situations. He's showing that he got the clutch gene. He is showing that he's stepping up. His play gets higher and higher as the game goes on, especially in the fourth quarter. So that's always a plus. He's not afraid of the big time moments. He always, for the last 2 games, he's shown that necessarily when it's fourth quarter, when it's money time, you can rely on me. And that's something that I've been noticing with Victor. So that's something that's going to translate to as he continues to grow his game. And so I'm excited to see this. I think we have a baby monster that's growing here. I think we have a baby three-headed monster that's growing here. It's not dangerous yet. It's like it's still a little. I don't want to say a pup, but we have a nice little three-headed little baby monster, and when it grows, it's going to terrorize this league for sure. If these 3 guys can stay together with Trey Jones, but mainly Keldon Johnson, Vassell, and Victor. Those 3 stay together. We're gonna be scary in the next 5 years. Next 5 years, we'll be in 5 years' time we'll be contending for the top spot, or at least the top 4 spots in the West. This team is that good. You can see. I mean, the team has that good of potential. You see it in Victor. You see it in Vassell, which I think Vassell is the best player on the team currently. Victor will probably take that position as the number 1 guy next year, but as of right now, Vassell is our best player. So as we continue to grow, yeah, next 5 years, in 5 years' time, I believe that we'll be contending for the top spots in the West. Hopefully, we'll be making a push in the playoffs if we stay together and continue to grow as a team, barring no injuries and nothing like that. I think this is a fantastic team that we have. They did a fantastic job drafting guys like Jeremy Sohan, because obviously Victor is a no-brainer, but drafting guys like Jeremy Sohan, finding Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, an excellent selection. So we did a tremendous job drafting players, and can't wait to see this team grow. I think the future is bright. So that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. Day after thoughts. Catch y'all probably Monday morning. Monday morning, hopefully, or Monday afternoon. Um, I'm trying to look at my scheduling, but I think if I could go live on my phone, I tried to go live on my phone, and it just doesn't. It just skips and all that. The audio is bad, worse than microphones I'm using now. So I have to find a way to go live so I can just jump on here and I can fit it right in my schedule and talk about Spurs on the day after the game. So, but that's all. I get with y'all Monday. So peace and blessings. Enjoy y'all weekend.